Hi everybody, welcome back to AI Ward Fleet Command. Vanilla standard game rolls on. I am Thetimix, and I've only gone forward about 10 minutes since the end of the last episode, which finished with us taking Massalia and getting the advanced factory there. I was planning on going forward a little bit more, but things have changed based on some discoveries, and I've changed up what I had planned to have as my strategy, as happens fairly often in AI War. You get more information and you've got to make an adjustment. Now, the main thing that happened is that we explored Hoth. Here, we've got the Advanced Starship Constructor and the Sniper Mark V Fabricator. So, like in Massalia, we can sort of take out two birds with one stone and get a key item and a little bonus in case of the Sniper Mark V. Now, this is obviously a much better location than Benagain, and Benagain doesn't give us the Mark V Fabricator either. The one problem that we've got here, there's only two entries in, but the one problem is Electra, which has a number of guard posts and is a Mark IV system with a barracks. We definitely want to deal with that. We don't just want to leave that on alert, let that build up. I mean, we could, but we'd pay for it later. Nonetheless, that's our next goal, and it's only 3 jumps from Quayar: Palma, Papagena, and Hoth. Now, we found some other things a little bit further on as well. There is a data center in Lofi. We could reach that from Hoth, Electra, Daphne, Lofi. We also found another one in Heb. That would still be out of our reach, but there's a couple data centers there. So if we hit Hoth and then hit that data center, we could, get that AIP back. And then we also have an advanced research station in Lachesis and one in Callisto. Now the question about these is, well, should we just take Fortuna out as well? I mean, both these are Mark IV planets, and instead of bordering this, then we would just have Acratic Method and Letitia, 2 Mark II planets bordering. On the other hand, taking out 3 Mark IV planets would not be a small operation. But that's what I'm leaning toward, just taking the extra 20 AI progress hit in order to have this be a more secure area. And at present, the Mark IV Scout is in here in Vesta and moving on. Now, up here in Triton, there is the other advanced factory. There's nothing else with it. None of these other systems around here have provided anything, so I'm not particularly interested in them. But Hoth will also, getting back to this, would also give us, obviously, a step towards this side of the galaxy. Now, it's possible that we might find another place. Like, I think Venus is within 4 jumps. We haven't explored that. But even if that happens, I still think we want to take Hoth for the Star Constructor and the Sniper. So, that's pretty much set. Now, on the knowledge front, I was planning on, we're almost finished. You can see we've only got 170 more knowledge to gather from there. And I was planning on using this 8,000. We're going to want to get, eventually, assault transports. That's 3,000. And the Mark III economic command stations for 5,000. And so that's what I was sort of keeping that in reserve for. The assault transports we won't need to get to Hoth. It's not far enough away. We'll need them eventually. We can get to Hoth, we can raid Lofi, we can do this with Electra without them. And matter of fact, I don't even think I would need them to get to Lachesis. So we don't need those anytime soon. Still going to want to get them eventually, but we can sort of get by without them for now. The economic command station we're going to want eventually, but, that wouldn't be greatly beneficial for Hoth. It would be for, like, say, Fortuna, which is off by itself. Maybe, maybe not for Lachesis and Callisto, but we can only build 6 of those. And we're out of the Mark II ones, which is why we would want the Mark III ones to begin with. We can't build any more Mark II economic stations. We'd only get 6 more, and are we going to want 13 planets, or are we going to want more than that before we hit the homeworlds? And I think we're going to want more. I think we're going to, instead of getting 6 more planets, I think we're probably going to be looking at getting 10 to 12 more planets. I mean, this right here, Hoth, Lachesis, Fortuna, Callisto, that's 4. And we've still got all this, other territory to explore. We'd at least have to get more planets closer to wherever the homeworlds are. I just sort of want to keep 8,000 knowledge in reserve for that whenever we need to get those, but I don't need to pull that trigger just yet. I also think that I'm really getting behind on the upgrading of the turrets. Now, I did boost defenses and dymos pretty much to the max, and I've been gradually working my way up that. I wanted to save up like about 1,000,000 metal, and then once I hit that level, invest more, and then wait for it to save up again. But I'd like to get into Mark II or even Mark III turrets sooner rather than later. And the reason, of course, that I want to do that is just so that they're more effective for the same amount of energy, and because AI progress is continuing to rise. It's at 137 now, which is more than half of the Tech Level 2, so we're going to be seeing Mark II waves more and more often now. I don't think I'm going to want to use the hacking to get more ships, at least anytime soon. We're a little bit weak on the high-level ships yet. We've got the Mark III, Mark IV bombers. We've got the autocannon mini-pod that we just acquired. But if we take a look at what that actually does... Extremely fast cloak ship. Short range, rapid fire attack. Excellent against heavy targets, but weak to opposing fleet ships. Well, that doesn't really help us that much, because what we'd like is stuff that's good against opposing fleet ships. Against heavy targets, we've got the bombers. So, I mean, it's still got a role. It's still going to help us. I'd like more, but if we look at, we've got a few different groups of them here, but our entire fleet is 1,100, 1,200 ships. You can build a whole bunch of the autocannons, which is nice. You gotta love the speed, but they are pretty weak. No armor of their own at all, and 2,700 health is not very much. We've got a decent variety of ships. We've got the parasites. We've got our basic starships up. We'd like to get more, but I definitely feel our need right now is on the defensive side. And since I don't plan on, like, we're going to get more ships from there. The Mark V Sniper. We're going to get another ship type here. We're going to get another ship type there. So we're not going to need any more ships anytime in the near future as far as I look at it. I'd like to spend my knowledge and the hacking for the moment, at least some of it, on getting more knowledge. I'd like to do some more knowledge raiding, add that into this pool, and unlock some more turrets. And of course that feeds into each other, because the more better turrets we have unlocked, the better we can do our beachheads to do the hacking. So all of that's going to be helpful. I might potentially want to build a beachhead on Electra, particularly with popping that barracks. Mark 1 turrets going up against Mark 4 ships is pretty, it's definitely not optimal. Okay, so with all that going on, we're going to hit Hoth. We're going to get 3,000 knowledge there. So with that and what we're going to get from the rest of Massalia, we basically got 3,250 to deal with. And I just wanted to use that right now to upgrade whatever we can for our turrets. And I just wanted to go up to Mark II whatever with that amount. So if we get Needlers, 500, that makes it 1,250 spent, 2,000 spent, 2,750 spent. So we got our main ones, the Needler, Laser, MLRS, and the missile turret. We get those all up to Mark II, and I can start putting those in now instead of adding more. That is in place. So putting those plans in motion, a bunch of things started to happen at once. This is Hoth, and we lost our colony ship and engineers on the way, and you can see we've only got 3 transports left out of the 5 that I started with. So we lost 2 of those. We're commencing our attack with the ships that aren't vulnerable to the MLRS here. And this thing is only one of them. They've got a couple laser guard posts, which is unfortunate because they're good against bombers. They've got a missile guard post, also good against bombers, so we're going to have to switch up our group to hit those. And then they've got like 3 different Guardians in the system, Mark II Guardians, along with the Mark III guard posts. So it's a little bit rough. Now this is going to be a good location down here, but guess what? We got to actually defeat the system first. So here comes our attack wave against the MLRS. And there goes that. And I think I just want to keep them going, hitting the Special Forces guard post. And then we've got, you know, the rest of our fleet over here defending against whatever. Here comes some vorticular cutlasses. You can see the AI is responding to our knowledge hacking on Frozenzen, which is also going on. And what are these ships doing? Oh, I wanted them to... Yeah, okay, that's a mistake. I wanted them to just go back. Yeah, I just wanted them to go back into Deimos and defend there. So I just brought them in. That's our main defensive fleet. By the way, that's the Mark 1 ships. The stuff I brought into Hoth is all Mark 2 and up because there's a Mark 1 ion cannon in there. So it wouldn't be particularly susceptible to that. Anyway, I built a full cap of our turrets here except for the snipers. I didn't want to accidentally kill the backup server or whatever. Didn't build any sniper turrets. Built everything else. So we've got all of them in place here. You can see the numbers there. And of course the Mark II turrets, etc. So this is going in place, and our beachhead appears to be progressing smoothly. But in order to get everything set up into Hoth, I think what I'm going to need to do is build... Yeah, you're exhausted, I don't care. I'm going to need to go for the assault transport after all. I'm just going to go with that right now. There it is. And I'm going to need to get that built and get another colony ship and engineers into the system with that. So keeping track of everything going on here and in Frozenzen is a little complicated. And of course our scouts still out there discovering more things. But we've got the special forces group done. The multitasking has definitely not been done perfectly. But I've split up the fleet again. And we want to take out a couple of these guardians and also the missile guard post down this way. So I'm gradually moving all my ships that aren't particularly vulnerable to that in this direction. And yeah, here comes riot control ships all over the place. Let's take out that guardian. Let's take out these riot controls. Now let's knock that out. Oh, let's get the Guardian first. There we go. Then the missile post. And here come our autocannon mini-pods. And one thing they are good for here is... And why is this... Okay, I don't want the assault transport in. You go away. Why don't you go up here? And these remaining ships are just going to guard you. Yeah, you can do your wonderful reprisal. Not particularly interested in that. We want to go after the laser guard posts now. And let's take out the Spider Guardian by all means. And one nice thing about this is, like, the autocannon mini-pods, they're not as vulnerable to these guard posts as the bombers would be. So that is an advantage that they have. Let's go after that laser guard post. And this down here is the command station. So this is really the last main guard post here. Speed it up a little bit now that we're in range. We're going to get a nice big reprisal here. But... Alright, let's take a look at where we're at. Yeah, I think I'm ready for this group to just go after the command station at this point. Let's definitely take out the Lightning Guardian first. Let's just pop back into Frozenzen and see what's going on there. So we're almost halfway done. Hey look, more Marauders. Which is hilarious, they're going to attack the AI. They can go right ahead and do that. And then let's take a look at what our scouts explored. Now we've actually found, we've got Eris down here. There's a Cutlass Mark V. Probably won't bother with that. This is a homeworld, so that's the homeworld for the first AI, because we know that's because it's yellow. That's going to be the first one we want to take out. That'll be the one that has the Avenger. And we'll investigate all the fun stuff that has another time. But we're also going to have Melpomene here, which has an advanced research station, ion cannon Mark IV, and A prime shield generator. So we'll want to take that and use that to come into Slan. That'll be our staging area. The question is how exactly we're going to get there. Do we want to hop through here and take Eris? Or do we want to like come down from this way? Pales has a data center, so that's going to be somewhere we might want to hit. Also, Spire Starship Fabricator. Probably we'll ignore that, but we'll see. Nothing really here. Nothing exciting up there. Bespin was recently scouted. Okay, that's got a data center. And also recently scouted was Thule. And nothing really there. So we're still moving around, finishing up the rest of this scouting material. But a couple data centers there for us to hit. Other than that, the main thing is we've found one of their homeworlds, and we still need to find the other one. And it's obviously not up in this area, which is a surprise to me. Maybe down here? I don't know, because we'd be seeing the core worlds if it was up in this area. So let's go finish off Hoth. And actually, I think I just want to do this quickly. There we go. Oh, I just hit the warp gate. Hit the right thing. There we are. Okay, so now, yeah, resistance is mostly cleaned up in here. Got the ion cannon, which again is off by itself. That's fine. Let's unload. Get that transport out of the way. Okay, and so here, I think I'm just going to build your standard logistics command station, since this is going to be a very important station to defend. Let's slide in down here. Build it right by those. And send the engineers down that way as well. And then once that gets built, we can decide what else to do. Now the rest of these ships, for the moment, let's just put all of you on free roaming defender down that way. Right in the middle of the system, probably better. And then from here, we've got a nice narrow cone of approach. Our transports are going to heal pretty soon. All of that fun stuff is going to happen. Hoth is going to cost us a reprisal, but we're taking the system and expanding. So pretty happy with that. Could have gone better, but, you know, we got the job done. And the sooner this gets built, the better. Because whenever that gets up, then we will take over the ion station and it can quit knocking out the engines of our ships. Say nothing about getting these in our area. Oh, they're going to come to Deimos with 236 AI parasites. Okay, let's make sure our fleet's ready. Because we're ready, let's just send the ships right over there. We've got plenty, we'll knock them out quickly and move on with our life. Not nice to have an attack on your homeworld this far in, but we will live with it. Okay, so let's see how we're doing in here. And we're doing just fine. We're about halfway in. You can see they're, you know, spawning some over there. And what are we hitting down this way? Okay. We're hitting those, and we've almost knocked out the force field on accident. That's kind of amusing. I believe that's our spiders, yeah. Nice little redirecting fire there. But everything in here is going just fine, thank you very much. We've now got a starter pack of turrets up on Hoth. It's not a huge amount, but it's a good beginning. And a couple more things to look at here. First of all, here's our new toy, the Mark V Sniper. We can't build that many of them. You see a ship cap of 20. Decent speed, pretty good health. The main thing, obviously, is they're snipers. They have infinite range. And they're good against close combat, light, medium, polycrystal. Excellent armor piercing. We could outrange any guard post with this. Those could prove to be really excellent in situations where we don't want to get too close to a hardened target. Now also we've got another AI reprisal coming. Now fortunately that's from the Turtle AI, but so we're not ever going to see it. But that came when I got rid of the turrets for the beachhead and for Zenzen we were using to hack. That is sort of the drawback to doing the beachhead method. If you use ships, you can pull them out. Use turrets, they're either going to sit there eating up energy or we have to get rid of them. Now, recommendation would generally be just to only delete a few of them at a time. That way you don't trigger a reprisal, at least not a very big one. I wasn't concerned about it here in any case, but that could definitely be an issue. We've got ourselves a science lab up here working, and something else. I built a couple of intergalactic gates just to show how they work. Now this is a Starship one, and this is the standard one. And basically what these will do is as long as they're on, till I power them off, all of our starships and fleet ships in the entire galaxy will show up here. And if you built more, it splits them between them, so on and so forth. Now they can't do anything for a minute after they show up, but for the most part, it just helps me avoid sending ships through transports as much, because I can just have them all show up in the same place. I can have multiple space docks in different locations and have them all come to the same one. Personally, I generally prefer to actually just set the space docks to build different ships based on where they're going to build them, but this is another option for you to avoid some of the micro there. We also have explored the rest of the galaxy, and we'll get to more of this stuff later, but we've found Herculina, the second wormhole, and as you'd expect with a turtle AI, it's got more defenses, especially ships. Got probably about twice as many ships as Slan does. So now we can put our final plan in place and decide how we're going to attack this rest of getting towards those two homeworlds and getting ready to finish the game. I've had to reevaluate a few things on that, and I'll decide for sure how to approach that for the next episode. So until then, thanks for watching. More Fleet Command coming up soon as we push forward. See you then.